On the phone with me right now, Mr. Matt Salter, one of the last of the real ones in the vape industry. So, Matt, let's talk about what's going on in New York. So they're trying to basically say, even if you possess a bottle of e-liquid, we're going to give your ass a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like last year's version, if you were busted with over a hundred ml bottle, that was intent to distribute. Now they're going as far as saying possession of an e-liquid that has the aroma even of other than tobacco or menthol, you will be fined, ticketed, and it can go all the way up to the fact where you're incarcerated for it if you get enough behind your belt, just like a ticket.
I mean, geez, can I just do my crack in public and shoot my heroin in a safe injection site in peace?
Actually, in New York State, yes.
But I can't have a 100 ml bottle of, I don't know.
You want to hear the ultimate irony?
Oh, let's do this.
New York State's medical marijuana program, you can't smoke it, you can vape it.
Oh ho
There's one of
ho!
two acceptable methods, and that's vaping it and edibles.
Well, if you ever need some vapable marijuana, I know a guy. My boy Stan Peterson, I can put you in touch.
Stan Peterson, I love
Good
that.
old Stan Peterson. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're on the verge of recreational marijuana, which will be huge for the country because New York's a booking state. What they do in this state, they want to do in every other state. Let me tell you something. If this flavor ban goes through, we are fucked with a capital F, and that's kind of why I've been the asshole on social media lately, screaming, if you do business in New York State, you profit from the state
you're
in any
my
way,
main
shape, or form.
crumbs retail hub in New York. I will
You're at
literally fly out there and shoot somebody.
And you know what? We got a lot of great vendors on last week. Medusa Distribution threw down 10K. Pinnacle CBD. Listen to this. Pinnacle CBD. Do you hear vape in that name? No, I don't. Why? Because they're not even a fucking vape company. Threw down 5K to New York to help fund the lobbyists to fight the flavor ban.
But with Pinnacle, they have a flavored CBD line coming out, so that
They
could.
do, and I got some on the way, and I'm so excited.
I gotta send you some of my CBD.
Basic white bitch Halloween with CBD in it.
I gotta send you some of my CBD.
I didn't even know you made CBD.
I got a little line called Cali FX, and Mr. Stan Peterson has we signed the contracts today to produce our first full or broad spectrum CBD products. But we are, because of the flavor bans and all the crap going on, we're gonna go with a terpene-based flavoring. But I was able to recreate the flaky French essence using all natural plant terpenes and put it into a CBD blend.
Very nice.
So we're going to do a 1 gram cartridge, 850 milligrams of CBD concentrate, broad spectrum, with a nice little French toast, little maple syrup, some butter, little powdered sugar aroma going on there. So. Oh yeah.
I think I just gained 5 pounds.
No. That's the thing is we're going to put that into our weight loss formula. So we're going to blend the cannabinoids to help with appetite suppression, so you can have your cake and vape it too.
Vape it too. I love it.
But anyway, so New York's a hot spot right now. California, I mean, goddamn, the liberals got control of the state, and I'm just waiting for the Attorney General in California who stated that he can see California as being the first tobacco-free state of the union, and he's going to push hard to try to have the most stringent FDA or tobacco regulation in all of the United States. So with what New York's doing, I'm expecting here pretty soon California is going to try to one-up New York because they have a tendency to do that when it comes to legislation.
Right. I mean, we've seen how many different counties and cities in California have passed flavor bans. You're up to like 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, but
New York State goes through on a full-on state ban.
Well, the problem is with California needs local municipalities to pass these things so they can go to the state level and say, oh, by the way, everybody wants this. So what California's plan has been is they target cities that have less than 10 TLR license. So they find cities that have less than 10 tobacco retailer license pulled. Now, reminder, a lot of head shops and convenience stores, pull, are national, so they have like national distribution and national tobacco registry license. They look for the ones that have the small mom and pop areas. So they'll go out to like, podunk fucking Central California where there's, 4 tobacco stores and try to pass the ordinance there. Outside of Beverly Hills and San Francisco, which the San Francisco flavor ban got challenged and not withheld as unconstitutional in state court, but the Beverly Hills won because there's literally no tobacco shops in Beverly Hills, and they're trying to use that framework to get the marijuana shops out of Beverly Hills because, God forbid, it might drive the price values down on your multi-billion-dollar home. they haven't had a lot of traction in other than very rural areas, which is funny because most of those rural areas are the Republican parts of California. That vote red but have blue people sitting on their city boards. So, and they haven't been successfully able to propose any county ordinances yet. So in California, we got to keep our eye out for when they start trying to propose a county ordinance to take a flavor ban in a county. That's when it's like red alert. But
Right.
but let's talk about what my favorite human being on the planet right now, besides you, my second favorite human being, Troy LeBlanc's doing. So he put up on Facebook this week, basically, I don't want to call it a coalition, but a group of like-minded vape shop owners that want our own lobbyists to try to voice our concern and opinions and try to get a seat at the big table, which is kind of piggybacking off of what I was trying to do by representing vape shop owners and going out and talking to the FDA. But unfortunately, I think that more people like Troy LeBlanc than they like me. It'd be safe to say. And, he's just a genuinely good human being that has a lot of experience in, fighting stuff. So I would defer to Mr. LeBlanc on these things. So I'm still going to go out on the 5th and talk with the FDA as just a concerned shop owner of what's going on with the legislation and the policy and how that looks for my business. I don't think with what Troy's got going on, and you can chime in, that it would be appropriate for me to also try to go out and represent vape shops, since he seems to be a little bit more organized and ahead of the curve than what I am. I will still take credit for the idea, though.
I mean, I absolutely love what Troy's doing. I've always been a very huge advocate of if you want something done right, do it your damn self. And that is a problem that we've had with all of these organizations, is they aren't completely transparent. It's that old fucking boys club pay-to-play bullshit. I get it. You want a little info, you got to grease the palms a bit. But if you're going to be the speaker for an industry, then you need to really have not just 5% of the industry's best interests at heart, those who pay you. You need to have 100% of the interest of everybody's the industry's interest at heart. Do we need to see the books? No. But if Juul donates, sit on your board, they donate $1 million, and they do absolutely dick all for policy changing or anything, just say that, Or if Juul's the one writing the books and, meeting with the politicians, say that. That way, everybody knows.
Well, the thing is, though, is like with me, with any time I donate money to state organizations or whatever, especially when it's not like what Troy's doing is more kind of like a rogue, like Phantom Menace type of thing. I'm going to want to, if I donate money, I'm going to want to see the books to make sure, like, we don't have the downfalls we saw with Southern California SFATA, right? We don't need our trade organizations going out to a Morton Steakhouse and racking up a $1,500 alcohol tab and a $2,000 dinner bill and taking it out of the money that's supposed to be going to fund the fight. You know what I mean? Or, not chartering, but paying for, flights to go out and meet on Capitol Hill and flying first class instead of flying business class as if you would do if you were a business owner. I think with lobbying and donations, and if you really have the best interest of the industry in mind, like we've seen with the downfalls of certain trade organizations, I won't call people out, but like with SFATA, I can talk about Southern California SFATA because I was the co-president at the time, and we're sitting there at steakhouses blowing $2,000 in a night, and I don't drink, so I go in and order my $50 fucking the smallest steak on the menu and feel guilty for it, and try to pay for my own on the side, because I sit on it. I actually just rotated off a nonprofit board I was on for 7 years. Not one time in 7 years of that organization buy my dinner, pay for my transportation, reimburse me for my charges. And they told me when I took the position that we're a nonprofit, dude. We take the money we raise, we have an annual conference, we spend all the money, we have no profit, and we're not going to cover personal expenses if you believe in this and want to take a position. And I chose to because I believed in what they were doing, and I didn't feel it was right to, lavish my lifestyle with other people's money. So that's just me. I'm a weirdo.
No, that's the absolute truth. I mean, there's only so much money flowing in. It's not to feed people. It's to fucking put in the lobbyist's hands or to put into a PAC to influence political decisions to be in, our favor.
And the other thing is, too, is if you're going to buy somebody dinner, buy the goddamn politician you're meeting with dinner.
Right.
Use the money for that. Not for the 15 members that showed up, and it wasn't even like the president and co-president. It was anybody who showed up. So sometimes they'd have like 30 members at that dinner, and these are the members that are doing like the minimum. Like their dinner was more than 6 months of their donations, and we wonder why it failed. So that's just me venting. I mean, I might need to write about that. I'm a little resentful still, but I like what Troy LeBlanc's doing because it feels to me like Troy. Troy's one of those guys who he doesn't need the money himself, and he could probably, if he wanted to, fund it all himself with everything that Derb does for the industry and OPMH and all the good stuff they do. But it's great to know that hopefully we'll have a lobbyist up on Capitol Hill pushing for the backbone of this industry, which is the mom and pops. I mean, Ultra, Avell e-cigs doesn't need us. They're planning on, if the vape shop only thing goes through, they're planning on opening another 1,500 locations because they have the
Which,
funding to.
truth be told, could benefit us. I mean, yeah, if they have that many locations, obviously they're going to be the biggest dick in the pond. But, the one argument that we get from a lot of people is, with convenience stores and vapes being banned, there's not always vape shops in these rural areas. What people don't understand is there's a twofold issue that fights against vape shops, and that's convenience stores and that's online sales. The second you remove one of those, you're pumping more money into the vape shops. Now, Gottlieb himself has said vape shops are better at age gating, which is the God's honest truth. Not
Absolutely.
to mention, with vape shops, you're going to have knowledgeable staff that are able to convert people the proper way versus shoving a Juul or a fucking Blue in their face and saying, here, suck on this, sonny, and that's it.
Well, the other thing is, too, is a vape shop's actually going to talk to you about battery safety, so we don't see the influx of people harming themselves, which looks negatively on the industry every time a battery vents. I mean, I got summons today from a shop that's 30 miles away that had an Apollo mod. An Apollo. You know how long ago Apollos were sold? 2014. An Apollo mod exploding and a lawyer trying to come after me, subpoenaing my business records from 2014, which I was in car audio at the time. I did not have my luxurious vape shop then. To see if this customer in a 5-year window made any purchases at my store. I sent him a nice little letter back, go, hey, this doesn't look like a court subpoena. And unfortunately, I didn't own the store at that time. I do not have access to those business records. I know you're fishing for other people to tie into this lawsuit, but I'm not the one. Unless a judge subpoenas me, have a nice day. So, and it was from a shop that sold clone mods and who knows what batteries. And
Those are my favorite.
And, 4 years later, a guy blows his clone up and he's got his hand out. Like, where's my money? I'm going to be rich now.
It lasted 4 years being a clone.
I'm surprised too, man. Like, when I saw the list of hardware, like, I was like, how did this not kill the guy? Like, who sold him this? So, and I contacted the vape shop, who, I won't name names because I don't like to put people's business on blast. I contacted the shop, I'll tell you offline, that sold it to him. I'm like, why is my name being drug into this? Well, we gave our lawyer a list of every vape shop in a 30-mile radius that could have possibly sold to the guy.
Oh, of course they did. Try to take that monkey off their bag.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wasn't in the industry in 2014 except for, mixing bathtub juice on my table.
Oh, the question is, how much did they fucking pay to have their lawyer subpoena all fucking probably, 20 vape shops in a 30-mile radius?
For try like 140, but that's okay.
Jesus.
But back to the argument, right? The one thing I noticed when I was trying to listen to the call and do my little radio thing is, the VTA says that, accessibility to product for people in rural areas. Well, I think I'm an expert on people in rural areas since pretty much the whole entire Midwest I drove this year, one way or another. And if you do a simple Google search, you'll notice that there is pretty much a vape shop about every 25 to 30 miles. Rarely do you go more than... So, yeah. So, in LA, if I want to go to my favorite vape shop, which is my shop, and I live in LA and I'm in Orange County, it could take me 2 hours in traffic. Where when I'm out in, Nebraska, I'm hitting a vape shop every half hour and driving to it. So, yeah. So that farmer who already has to drive into a town to go buy, I don't know, milk, Walmart, groceries, whatever.
Because Walmart, they don't have Walmarts every 30 to 50 miles.
No, and people survive with going and buying, they load up the truck once every 2 weeks, they drive into town. I'm from a rural fucking country town in Colorado. I remember when they put the Super Walmart in. Goddamn, it was right next to the Dodge dealership. It was like Christmas, Easter, and New Year's all at once. And we'd load up the truck twice a week, drive our ass down to Walmart for powdered milk and fucking Dr. Shasta and fucking industrial-sized things of fucking off-name Fruit Loop flavor. Fruit Loop cereal and brand. The Walmart brand Raisin Bran. You know, and every 2 weeks, we take a couple $100, everybody load up in the truck, take the trailer, go down to the Walmart, fill that son of a bitch to the brim, and drive home. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, you know, we have the delusion from people that are lobbying in large metropolitan areas where it's like, fuck, I gotta go 5 miles in an Uber to get my vape juice, man. That's too far. Trying to say that people will not have access to products. What's going to happen is where there is a demand, the market will open shops in that area. That's what always happens. You know, you're going to have a farmer going like, fuck, there's not a vape shop 40 miles around me, and I'm ordering $200 online, and I can't do that anymore? Geez, I wonder how many other people are doing that. Let me open a little shop and see what happens. So that's just, you froze on me, you asshole. Oh, no, twitch your lips.
No, I'm listening.
I
You're
don't
talking,
have it.
baby. I'm listening. I'm attentive.
I don't have anything good to say. You know that.
Is that why you call me?
Yeah. I call the brains. I'm just the face. And one of those faces where if you're in New York, you back over it twice just to make sure it's not moving.
Or you pay $50 to go to some seedy hotel room. Yeah.
$50. Those are still around. I got a Hilton. Nope. I got Hilton status this year, so I'm happy about that.
Very nice.
You know, I just question whether the hooker was killed in my room instead of some motels I stayed in earlier this year where I know the hooker was killed in my room.
Yeah, my wife, she bitches at me when I book hotel rooms. Last time we went to Foxwoods, there were definitely people smoking crack 3 doors down, like outside on the stoop.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to a hotel room that's got a stoop, yeah, you know, you fucked up.
Well, at least the fact is that they were smoking crack on the stoop. They could have been shooting heroin. It is Massachusetts.
True story.
So, but anyways, all right. So what happened on the? So what was the main message from the VTA webinar for vape shops? Just the Reader's Digest version.
Essentially, they're doing everything they can to fight for the vape shops. They really pushed that they drove the narrative with the FDA, and that their announcement this past week was really the message they've been sending to the FBA in their discussions when they meet with them. That vape shops do better age gate. That flavors are super important, which, you know, a lot of people thought that we were going to see some form of flavor ban out of the announcement last week, but the fact that we didn't was really promising. And then just basically they talked a lot about the 50-state drive.
So I didn't
that's really it. To be honest with you, there wasn't a whole lot to it. That I personally, I sit on every VTA webinar I can. I sit on every trade group's webinar that I can, or conference call, or, you know, I actually find it enjoyable to do advocacy. It's a hobby.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's
like,
interesting.
I legit do it for fun.
Wow! Isn't that what you're supposed to do it
for? Right?
Ding!
No. I'm waiting for that check to come in the mail. What the fuck, man?
I'll send you a check for 1 cent right now.
Yes.
So, anyways, all right. I got to take a quick break. We got a nice little segment that we can send over to the Vape Radio for the podcast. I don't know, dude. Like, the VTA, you know, I want to like them, but it's just, as a shop owner, some days it's very hard. But then you have Troy LeBlanc, which you can do nothing but like and be like, thank God somebody's doing what I've been thinking in my head, but just don't have the means to do.
Super good guy.
Yeah. And that Greg Troutman, I don't know about him, though.
I love Greg. I don't care what anybody says. You know, he's turning over a new leaf.
Well, the nice thing is about Greg is when I have to fight the you know, I put that post up. Did you see that troll post this week about me? Like, when Cam quit Buckshot, I was like, come work for me. And he posted it in there like, that's a sexual harassment waiting to happen. I'm like, yes, you're going to have to defend me. Greg, you're going to have to prosecute for me. Cam will sexually harass me.
Everybody jumped ship this weekend and went to new companies.
Oh, man. Well, you know, I'll just, you know, sit over here in the corner being the redheaded stepchild of vaping and do my own thing. It's been working so far. You can disagree with me at any time.
Sorry, my wife sent me a picture of things that you see on Wish that are just going too far. And it's a stuffed, cute, soft, fat Shiba Inu dog pillow plush toy. and this thing literally has a butthole on the back.
Well, that's going to make some bestiality guy very happy this holiday season.
A furry, yeah.
Yeah, get a little furry action. All right, let me take a quick break, and we'll be back right here on the Resist Radio Show.